Well, we're not going to worry about that for now, but yes, you can definitely change how the ball bounces, how fast it goes, all sorts of things. So, everybody mute your computer so we don't have to hear the bullets. Mute the computer. I already had turn down the volume for me. Turn down the volume. We won't get started until the volume's turned down. Hey, look at the other Okay, listen up. I put up the live stream, so if you want to follow along, go to the live stream right now, and we're getting started. Yeah. I don't have the details. No details. Hello. Okay. All right. What's that? Oh, yeah. Did I not pass it down? Who has attendance? Who has attendance? We don't. Person not. Yeah, we never got it.
Somebody tried to give me like 6 flags, and I was like, nah, yeah. I'm afraid of heights. No, I like them. Yes. No, you can have fun. But you're in a high I'm afraid of heights too.
Yeah, which row did you get attendance? This whole row?
Oh, I went to this.
Okay, sign attendance and pass it that way.
Six flags.
All right, listen up. In the front of Unreal, everybody, click this button in the lower left called Add New.
Wait, do what now? Add new. Oh, add new.
Click Add New, lower left, and then choose Blueprint Class. And in the new window that pops up, choose Actor. And then type in the word BP_block. That's what we're going to name it. We're going to name it BP_block.
What? BP_block.
So I'll repeat that one more time. I'll repeat the instructions one more time so everyone can hear. So I'm going to repeat it once more. Listen up. What we did, we just clicked Add New, Blueprint Class, and we chose Actor. And then we named the new thing in our content browser BP_block. That's going to be our block. Then I want you to double click it.
So is it a puzzle?
Sorry, what?
Is it a puzzle?
A puzzle? What do you mean? You should be... Okay, so listen up. I'll explain it. What I need you to do... Hey, guys, stop talking. Click Add New. Then in this window that comes up, Blueprint Class. And you choose this one called Actor at the very top. Add New, Blueprint Class, Actor.
Oh.
All right, and then once you've got it, you name it BP Block. BP just means blueprint, right? That's why we name it BP, and then block. Double click it so that now you're in the blueprint editor. So everybody's in the blueprint editor now because you've double clicked it. Now you're in the blueprint editor. Your screen looks like mine. We want to add the block. We want to make it look like a cube. So to do that, we're going to add a static mesh. So in the left here on Add Component, click the green Add Component button and click Static Mesh.
You double click it?
No, you just click it once and it'll add it. You want to add a static mesh.
Yeah, it didn't do that.
BP_block. What are you trying to do? Alright. Okay, so you've added a static mesh. So you have a static mesh in your components now. With that static mesh selected, on the right in details, you have a property. It's called static mesh, but it's set to none. Right? Click the drop down that says none and choose the one that says cube. You either type in cube. For me, it's actually at the very top called 1m_cube. That'll work fine. Once you set it to cube, you'll notice you now have a cube.
Mister, nothing happened.
Yeah.
What'd you do? I got it.
I clicked static mesh and nothing happened.
Okay, so nothing happens when you start with static mesh because you got to set what that static mesh is. It'll be right there. And you want to have static mesh selected and change its detail where it says static mesh. Change it from none to cube. There's a cube setting. You can choose a cube. Static mesh.
Oh.
Mister, we change its scale.
Don't change the scale. Do not. These things won't line up correctly.
Sorry, mister. Already did.
Well, then change it back to 1. Yeah, you can see it, but make sure the scale is on 1. Alright. Good, that's good. Okay, so most of you have a cube now. Now listen, for fun, let's change this material to something that looks Minecrafty. So see where it says material? I want you to click on the material here and type in the word rust. And choose rust, because rust actually looks a lot like dirt from Minecraft. And then you're going to have a cube that looks like this. So change the material to the rust material, R-U-S-T, and it will look like dirt.
How do we add a layer?
Metal rust?
Yeah, metal rust. Yep.
Looks like dirt.
Looks like dirt from Minecraft. Okay. Moving on. Hold on to the questions. What I want everyone to do now is go to the front of Unreal. And we're going to drag a few of these blocks into our world. But before we do that, I told you about the grid snapping system when we first started teaching in Unreal, how you could snap something every certain amount of units. We want to do that here because in Minecraft, there's never any seams between two blocks. They're always perfectly next to each other. And if not, they're exactly a block apart, so they can't overlap. Well, to do that, all you need to do is set your grid settings from 10, it should be at 10 by default, to 100. So change it to 100. And that way, all of the blocks will line up perfectly when you put them next to each other. So I just change the grid setting in that upper right toolbar to 100. And then drag that block from your content browser into your world and do it a couple times so we can get some blocks in our world.
Where's the 100?
100 is in the top right, and you can hover over these icons. It'll tell you what they do. And you want to hover over the one that says set the position snap grid thing, right?
Mister, how come in the first person, how come there's two guns?
That has to do with what the player sees versus what the game is actually showing other players.
Oh, see, that makes sense. Minecraft has taken a violence turn. Wait, is this oh. How come the white ones go?
So just fill your world with some blocks. Get several of them in there. You don't have to fill your world yet. I just want several.
I love Minecraft. Don't you start singing that song. Hey, look, hey, watch. You can see a trick shot.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, listen. Thank you. While we're here in the front of Unreal, what I want you to do is we're going to add something else new in the content browser. And this is something called an enumeration. It sounds scary, it's not. Hit send and restart. Wait, what? And I was just talking. So we're going to add something new. It's called an enumeration. All that is a list. And what I want to do is I want to make a list of all the different block types that our game has. That's all we're going to do. So go to Add New, click Add New, lower left. And then what you want to do is find the category called Blueprints. So not Blueprint class, but there's a little category to the bottom that's called Blueprints. And when you hover over it, a new window comes up and you'll see the enumeration. You want to select enumeration. I'll say that again. I'll say it again, listen. Add new, Blueprints, category, enumeration. Click enumeration.
What are we naming it?
You're going to name it block type. Block type, no spaces. Name it block type, no spaces. TYPE.
Who just asked that question?
So it's the enumeration. It looks like a list. Even the icon looks like a little list. Okay. Once you've done that, double click it. Listen up, listen up. Listen. Next thing I want you to do, if you haven't done already, double click that enumeration thing you named block type, double click it, and new window that comes up is very blank. Okay?
It is blank.
Yeah. It's very blank because it's very simple. All we're going to do is add, it's just a list. So once you have, your screen looks like mine, I want you to click this new button. And if you click this new button, you're going to fill out your list, right? And then if it's too big, you can hit the X mark right here. We only have 4 items actually on our list.
Okay.
So just click the X to delete. And so once you get 4 items on this list, and right here where it says display name, I want you to name these. We're going to start. The first one you're going to name dirt. Just type in the word dirt. The second part of the list, second item, we're going to name that grass. The third item we will name stone. And the fourth item, let's have that one be water for water blocks. Okay. Dirt, grass, stone, water.
Why does yours have like this?
It's because I'm a newer engine version, that's all. So it'll be slightly different, but I guess now let's put it in the description in your list. And then hit save.
Which one's
We're
the second one?
You're just got to name them. Oh, it looks different because I'm in a newer version of the editor. Same idea. Dirt, and grass, stone.
We click on new.
So you have 4 items on your list. You have dirt.
I'm just
Appreciate the music. Okay, so you've done that list. Once you've done that, yeah, dirt, grass, stone, water. Then hit save. Thank you very much. Hit save, and then you can exit out of that. We don't need the list anymore. So once you just save it, and then you can click out of that. Okay. And I want you to go back to our block. Go back to our block blueprint. Okay, so once we're back in our block, we're moving on now. So make sure you're back in your block blueprint right now, so you don't miss it. You just go ahead and click and save, and then exit out of your list. In block blueprint, listen up. Lower left, in the variable section, I want you to put the plus icon. We're going to create a new variable. So go to lower left. It says variable. There's a little plus icon. Click that. It's going to ask you, what do you want to call your variable? We want to name this block type. Name block type. And it will be like red by default. Remember, that's our Boolean or on-off variable. We want to change, and its details on the right here now, the variable type. We want to change it from Boolean. So click down on the drop-down on variable type and look up the list you just made. Look up the word block type, and the list we just made will come up under a category called enum for enumeration we just made, and you want to select block type. So you're changing this variable's type to be the type, the list that you made. So listen up if you aren't getting that. I'm going to repeat it again. Right now I'm repeating it. In the lower left on our blueprint, you click the plus icon next to variables. Okay, that made a new variable. In the details panel on the right side, we named the variable block type. And then in the variable type, we changed the variable to be a block type. It's our list, right? Next thing, just hit compile over here on the left. And if you hit compile, you can then see in the default value at the bottom of this, you can see all your different, you can see that it's now on dirt by default, your whole drop down. Yeah. Just look at block. So do you use that? No. So it's just neighbor. So let's. Wait. Now we go. Oh, you didn't. Yeah, you have to change the name. There. Let's see. Armstrong. Now all right. I am going to move on. If you're behind, remember this is all in the live stream. Also, if this class's live stream is like too slow or something, go to one of my earlier periods, and then you can see, where I'm not explaining things. You can go through those videos as well. So, What?
Where each.
The live streams are always going to be on YouTube under the user account called .waregames. Go to the upload section. Yeah, question? No. Stretching? Cool. All right, listen up. We're going to move on. So let's take it down. Now, what I want to show you now is something that we haven't done before. Remember, we've done event graph before, all our flashlight stuff. We just did viewport. We do that all the time. But then there's construction script. We're going to go to construction script. So go ahead and click on that construction script tab. So construction script isn't that, it's not difficult. It's the same thing as the blueprint graph. The only difference between construction script and event graph is the construction script is anything that happens before the game ever plays. Okay? So if you put code in the construction script, that code will actually change while you're in the editor. And so you'll see in a minute why we're using this. But once you're on construction script, the next thing I want you to do is drag your variable black type onto your graph, and it's going to say get or set. We're going to get, so choose get. And then I want you to drag off of that, and I want you to type in the word switch.
Just I have it zoomed all the way out, and I can't find that little starting blueprint.
So you're dragging your variable, block type, and you're going to do a get, drag off of there, and type in switch. That's exactly it. Yeah, there's only one option. It's going to say switch on block type, and that's what you want. What's the, oh, you're trying to find the start. Okay. You can kind of figure out what's going on here. What you're seeing is this shows, this is kind of like, listen, this is like our branch, right? Where our branch lets us have these other channels for doing code. Well, what the switch does, and what's so useful having a list, is it lets us do different code depending on what item in our list is selected, right? So we can have the code that comes off of the dirt channel that does stuff whenever the block is made of dirt, code that comes off the grass channel that does stuff whenever the block is made of grass, water, lava, diamond, whatever, right? So that's what's really cool about this. So go ahead and first of all connect this construction script to the front of the switch by dragging a wire. Simple as that. Once we've connected, we're going to start by putting our code onto the dirt channel. And the only code we're going to worry about right now today is we're going to change what the block looks like. We're actually going to change the material of the block depending on what is selected in this list. So to do that, all we need to do is get the static mesh and then change the material. So drag static mesh onto your graph. I'm going to drag it right there, kind of by dirt. Drag static mesh onto your graph, and then drag off of static mesh and type in set material. So you dragged your static mesh onto your graph. What's that?
My name or just set material?
You want set material. Just set material is the node you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. So you drag your static mesh onto your graph, then you drag it off static mesh, and you get set material. What's that? For block types, get. Yeah. And then you drag off a block type and you type in switch. Okay. All right, and you click the option that comes up. So moving on. Set material is real simple. At the very bottom of the set material node, there's something that says material, and it has a little drop down and says what material you want to set this to. So go ahead and click that drop down and type in our rust, because we're on the dirt channel, we want it to look like rust. So choose rust for that. Yep, rust. And then I want you to connect the dirt channel to the front of that set material. For what? Static, just drag it on, it won't ask you.
Why does all the same? It's like all glitch.
Yeah, the Max can do that, just choose it. Connected to dirt.
I connected to switch.
You want to connect the front, say sideways triangle, or go to the other sideways. Yeah, that's our dirt. All right, question? So I want you to resolve this. I need help. All right. The rest of this code's actually really simple, so just listen up and you'll get it the first time. All we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste these two nodes, and we're going to do it for the rest of our channels. The only difference is we're going to change what material we're setting the new block type depending on what we're doing. So, quiet. So what I want you to do is left-click, drag, right, a box. So these two are highlighted. Use Command C, Command V. That'll copy and paste it. And put this right down below here. And this will be for our grass channel. And for the material, I'm just going to change that one to grass. Type in grass for the material. And voila. And you'll see I'm kind of stacking them, by the way. That's the best way to organize it. Because I want them to be kind of stacked like that. So yeah, and then do it for stone and do it for water. Highlight these, Command C, Command V. Change it to stone. Okay. Yep. I'm going to do it again for water. For water, I just use the lake water material. Should be good. Okay.
I do it for all of them.
Yeah, this is out. Just do your best to put the right one.
What was it for class?
Yeah, grass for grass. Stone, you can pick. There's a couple options like cobblestone looking stuff.
Oh, okay. Then
Oh, you want set material? Set material.
Okay, then I'll try.
All right, you guys are doing really good. You're doing really good. Yeah, that's a Mac. I think a Mac thing. Just do your best to click the right one.
I put stone. I can't see.
All right. One more thing I want everybody to do. So pay attention because it won't work unless you do this. Take a look at our lower left. Look at your variable called block type. And your variable right there, there's a little eyeball icon. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll see it looks like kind of shut eye. If you click on it, it'll turn into an open eyeball. Right? Okay? You want to open it, so turn into an open eyeball. Okay? All that is that's just making it so that we can then change this variable in the details panel in the world. Right? So you just click. So go to your variable, lower left, and click the eyeball icon.
Oh, so that one makes just so the player can see it.
So that we can see it when we're level designing. Yeah. Okay. Last and final thing. Go to the front of Unreal. Go to the front of Unreal, and if you did this right, you should be able to click on a block and look at its details panel, and voila, we have a new setting here. A setting you made yourself called block type, and it's labeled as dirt. If I change that, for example, to grass, the block will actually change.
I don't have the default.
Stone, water, all that. Now, if you don't have it in your default, then it probably means that you didn't click the eyeball icon on that variable. You got to make sure that eyeball is open. No, it's on details.
I did, but it's still not showing now.
So you click on your block. Oh, listen, if it's open, it's not working. Here's one part. If it's open and it's not working for some reason, hit the compile button on your block. Hit compile, upper left.
Oh, yeah.
Then it will work. Once you hit compile, it should work.
It says,
Wait, you said default type? Wait, it says default.
no. I said, oh wait, maybe we should compile. And then right after he said to compile, I'm thinking,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you can't give me how I got it to be.
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to come around and help for the rest of the class for 7 minutes. Just fill in your world a little bit, make it more make it interesting. Put some rocks down. Why is there some grass, water. How are you going to make your game?
Simple, I have a perfect model right next to me.
Oh, there. Now, go ahead and fill in your world, and that will be it for the lesson.
I got an error.
So make sure you catch up because we'll continue next time. All you gotta do is just know what it's setting the material up and target just this. You just gotta put static meshes. Yeah. Let go. Yeah. You could have them all come to the same one. It doesn't matter. It has like.
Thank you for giving me this
Make sure you save this project. We'll be continuing on with this. Alex project. Hopefully one day I'll show you guys how to make that.
I just want to make
Well, honestly, if it was a standard bullet, it would be too fast to even see. It's kind of like, it would basically make it invisible.
Yeah, but mine's better for you can't even get it.
Yeah, I was asking really good questions. I asked, hey, next time are we going to make it so you fall through the water? The answer is yes. I'll make it so the water doesn't have collision. And what we'll also want to do, next time we're going to make our, listen up, because this will actually help us kind of get ready for next time. Next time we're going to give our blocks a certain number of health, right? It's sort of weird to think of it as health, but in Minecraft, when you mine dirt, it mines really quickly, but when you mine stone, it takes a really long time. So what we're going to do that is give our block a certain amount of health. So when it's stone, we're going to set that health to a really high number, and when it's dirt or grass, we'll set it to a low number, and that will code to use as a determination for how many hits it takes. Okay? Any other questions? Can we mine the water?
On my
What?
You can shoot the water. Where's the mining water?
Oh, mining water. I'll show you how to get around that because you can't mine water. You don't want to deal with mine water.
It's like crystal fault of that.
Yeah.
All right, we have 1 minute to class. Save and log out.
Look at this picture. Look at this.